Isles took Game 5, double OT, after a disastrous turnover by Tristan Jarry. Some would say a rookie mistake from the young man. Marc-Andre Fleury would never. And now we have a Game 6, the Islanders up by 1 in Nassau Coliseum, which, as we know, is a rocker. And the last game they had in this Coliseum against Pittsburgh, it was like Game 4. The Islanders rocked the house down, and it was pretty fun to watch. This is the second time, I think, this week, or 7-day quota, that we've seen a young goalie in the normal Metro division just cock up a game for his team. First with Samsonov, now with Tristan Jarry. That's not great.
No, it's not. And
I
had Pittsburgh going through. Now,
Still
having doubts. I mean, yeah, sure. I have lots of doubts. That Edmonton pick just has me questioning literally everything from now on. But
we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah, I know. Oh, and Ken Holland. Oh God, that press conference. But yeah, it is a tight. Would you guys agree that it is a tight series still? Like,
in a way, like I think that, like, of course the Penguins are a lot better offensively, but it's like that kind of thing where just they don't know how to get around the Islanders. That so many of the problems where they've had in the past with them, it's not like they're not adjusting to it. That they still have these rushes, they're still getting the shots on goal, but again, like low percentage shots. And Sidney Crosby, I need him to wake up.
Yeah.
Also, Evgeny Malkin, I know that he missed a lot of time as well. He's one of those examples too, where he came into the lineup pretty cold, where he missed more than 10 games, and then they put him back in the top 6 right away, and he struggled mightily, especially with staying out of the box.
How do you lose not a literal shootout crapshoot, but how do you lose a shootout to the Islanders? How have you let the Islanders score this much? It's ridiculous. It's the Islanders. What are you doing?
I feel like, I don't know, they clamp onto you. You know what I'm talking about? If this makes sense.
Yeah, still though, they've never been this kind of like conversion team. I wonder, we'll talk about them a little later, but has the window closed for Sid and Ovi's era? Because this is again, like Sid was, and we hate counting out Sid, he had a great year. He'll probably be captain Team Canada next year, I'd say. If you look back to that first series against the Islanders, I think he had an assist. Against the Habs, was pretty quiet. And then you go up against the Islanders this year. I'm just saying, I think you have to have a look, and you would imagine this offseason is the first time that you kind of, that Hextall will be his first offseason, and Burke will kind of look at like, okay, what do we really have here? Because I don't know, I don't see the Penguins in the same sort of threatening light that I have in years past. And I think it's really starting to shift in the Metropolitan, which
right. Before I go on, I have this is not a bit of a joke, but it is kind of true. Like, there's some truth to this joke.
Oh, yeah?
Okay,
things haven't been the same since Chris Kunitz left.
I thought you were going to say Phil Kessel.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, to that extent as well. I mean, that's kind of true, but yeah, I don't know.
Your power play's been
they were always that great team. You like, if you were not choosing the Blackhawks, you were always choosing the Penguins if you wanted that dominant team in NHL. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, to that degree, it really has not been the same. Like, Jim Rutherford, when we talk about him being so trigger happy, for him to try to make a roster around Sid and Malkin, it just hasn't worked. Like, Jason Zucker has been good, but he hasn't been great. And I think, like, they're relying a lot of guys now that they're just not those game breakers. Like, they'll put up the numbers, they'll be there for the occasional goals, but it's true. It's not the same. It's not the same surrounding anymore. Like, it's not that feeling I have anymore. Because, like, Malkin, for how good he is, he has had so many injuries, and he's 34 already. Like, I don't see him having that same pace anymore. And I think for Crosby as well, it's just that lightning in the bottle he always had with certain line mates, and they tried to reestablish that too when they brought back Connor Sheary. It hasn't been the same.
Alex.
I mean, yeah, maybe we'll get to Washington a bit later, but at least with Pittsburgh, I can see it. The one thing I think of though is Brian Burke, he must have seen something, and I know things obviously can always change, but he's the type of guy who's always said was more than fine not staying, not coming back, getting back into management or being a president of hockey operations. So maybe he must have seen something. I think there are some fixes. I wonder if I don't know if this is the only solution, but it fixes something. Getting some better goaltending than Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith.
I mean, we always joke about it. Man, Marc-Andre Fleury is great right now. I mean, who knows if he would have been the same in Pittsburgh because, maybe need change of scenery and all that eventually. But Pittsburgh, I guess I'll get a final prediction. Pittsburgh are about to go to the power play, so maybe they'll shut us up right now. Scott Mayfield, cross-checking. How dare you?
One more thing I just say for the Penguins is that I think it's just they're a unique case because I think that sometimes when teams want to continue the window, they have moments of transition, but I think because you have Crosby and Malkin and Letang, they never really had that because arguably I kind of felt too that they never really repaired their defense. They got lucky with John Marino and that's it. Like that's about it. Like Brian Dumoulin could only do so much. And then the other guys, they performed well, like Marcus Pettersson, even Cody Ceci, Michael Matheson, but I don't know. It's just, I'm naming these guys and they're not the same rock, type of solid guys. I felt that Trevor Daley gave, or, going even further, like a Brooks Orpik, a Rob Scuderi, or even the offensive guy, like a Justin Schultz, where he knew his role. But now I'm suddenly seeing that, these a lot of miscast players on that team trying to take on other roles that maybe they were never really meant to play.